Three, two, one. We're live.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the 7th Whaleshares Curation Show. I'd like to wish you all a Merry Christmas, first of all, and thank you all for coming to so many shows. Look, we've got a fantastic attendance this evening. Some faces, and I think we will jump straight in with Cubby, who's going to go first with her first post.
Alrighty then. I am so ready for that. Very good. Okay, and so my first post was one that I just recently found before hopping in here. I always like to check just before I come on for some recent post, and this one caught my eye. And one of the many reasons that I love it so much is because I love that we can meet people from around the world on Steemit, but many times we can't communicate with them because of the language barrier that we face for it. But she has avoided that by translating for us.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Cubby. I am so sorry.
That's okay.
I'm seeing a lot of chat in the general. Just to remind everybody, you need to click on the Curation Land text channel to get the correct text feed, because there's a lot of chat in general at the moment. Just to remind everybody. Sorry, Cubby.
That's okay. I'm glad that you did that so people wouldn't be so lost. It can be quite confusing at times. And so for this, she talks and walks us through her holiday season that we had in it. And so she does have a lot of lovely pictures of the games she played with some of her friends. And she actually has, what is that thing? An archery that she uses that my best friend does as well. I didn't think any other people did it, but apparently it's a thing. And I just thought it was a lovely post, and I love that she put it in both languages so that we could all enjoy it here today, and how she hangs out with her friends and some of the games they play in her holiday season. It's a bit long. There's not a lot of text to read. It's just a lot of pictures and the way she formatted it. It takes a minute to go through. But when you have a chance, go ahead and read through it. It's a lot of fun, her talking about her hometown and some of the tragedies they had gone through. But even so, she still keeps her spirits up and has close friends to kind of pull her through. And yeah, I really liked it. So I chose her, and surprisingly, her post only made 79 cents, and so I'm hoping we could do a little bit better for her.
I like the fact that she's into archery. I think that's great. I don't often come across that. That's quite an original hobby. Yeah, just to note on the presentation, yeah, I'm loving that double column effect. I think that's really nice. Nice presentation, definitely, and really well written.
Mm-hmm. And the fact that she mentions in there that she says, these guys are my close friends, except the girl in pink. I don't really know who she is. I thought that was so funny because at first I thought she was talking about someone in Discord, because I'm like super pink in some of the other Discords. But she's talking about herself, and I was like, oh, a lady after my own heart.
Is this Venezuela? Not Venezuela. Is this Indonesia that she's in?
Indonesia. Let me check. Indonesia, yes.
I can't. For some reason, I think it's, but I couldn't tell. But I wasn't sure. Okay, so it's interesting. I don't know much about Indonesia, but I'm now looking at the pictures and getting a bit of an idea of it.
Yeah, it's lovely how mundane those pictures are, but at the same time they're different, from where we are at.
Yeah. So that's my first pick. She's awesome. She's been on the platform for a little while now, it seems. And I don't know if she does this for all her posts, because I only had a chance to look at this one. She wrote it about 8 hours ago, and I just found it right before the show. But I loved it, and I thought it was great.
And what holiday is that?
Well, I'm assuming since she wrote it 8 hours ago, it must be Christmas. But maybe she's speaking of something else, because she just says it's a long holiday again, and that she was spending it with her friends. So it must be the Christmas weekend, I'm assuming.
I had no idea they celebrate Christmas in Indonesia.
I'm not sure they would celebrate Christmas. They might have a winter holiday that coincides with it, but it's because she's got a headscarf on. She's almost certainly
probably
Muslim, I think. And Indonesia is a Muslim country, but I don't know the name of the festival they celebrate. I don't know if anybody does.
True.
Christmas.
This is interesting because she's saying happy holidays. I don't know. Is there not a reference at least to Christmas? No, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe you're right, Nick. Maybe it's just coincidence.
Well, we can find out. We will endeavour to find out at some point. Someone will Google for us, and then we will find the answer.
Yes, there we go. Extra, Nick, it's your show, but maybe give an extra 5 something or another to somebody who does it.
I think we can manage 5 whale shares for whoever finds out what holiday is going on in Indonesia in those pictures. But anyway, Freedom, should we come to your post?
Yeah, sure. Okay, I'm going to put it up here. This is a really nicely written piece on depression, and it's nothing sort of deeply philosophical. There's no extensive evaluation of depression or the psychological impact, emotional impact of depression, but it is something that is very well written, and it's very positively. It comes from a very positive angle. In fact, I don't know whether this person X8422 has been through depression, him or herself. I don't know, but either way, the piece offers a lot of really helpful advice about how to tackle it. Now, obviously, there's varying degrees of depression, ranging from very mild to very, very serious. And so, if you look at it from any perspective within in that spectrum, nonetheless, this article still may help people because as I say, she lists about eight sort of tips, if you like, how to approach depression, how to deal with it, how to get it out of your life. And as I say, it's not a deep article, but it does offer some really helpful advice. She's gone through a lot of useful approaches. I think useful tips. I think this article could really help some people. Even a couple of the things I found quite surprising. A couple of things were less surprising. She even says give yourself a craving like chocolate. A bit of chocolate's absolutely fine. It's good for mental health, apparently. So a few things I learned in this article, actually. I think she even mentions yoga. A lot of people mention yoga, actually, in terms of relating that to mental health. I think yoga's quite an important part. So she does look at a number of different areas that you could look at if you do have, if you are tackling depression, because it does affect a lot of people, and maybe more so this time of year. So I thought it was a very nice post. In fact, she only posted it 7 hours ago, so it's hot off the press, but nice post. And I think, it tackles a really serious subject. So well done to her.
My favorite tip is about healthy eating. I feel like seeing colorful foods and stuff like that would bring people in a better mood.
Yeah, well, this is it. Some people actually think, oh no, you're comfort eating. You shouldn't do that. Now, actually, sometimes it's not as unhealthy as it sounds. It can be okay,
I'm actually gonna bring this up a little bit later, but you know what? In my post, my post is food related, but the thing is, yes, it's not how much you eat, it's what you eat that matters. It's not about you can eat a burger once in a while, but excessive eating of burgers is gonna be bad for you. But one burger is not gonna hurt you. If that's your craving, then once a month, you can eat that burger.
Yeah, exactly.
I was going to choose. Sorry, go ahead.
It's okay. On a tangent, in this post, there's something I've spotted, not linked to the content about depression, but it's got beautiful little steamit lines between the pictures. Is that the thing that add easily? You know what I'm talking about, don't you? The line with the
yes, absolutely. No, I mean that's part of the presentation. It's very good. There must be some script code for that. I don't know what it is, I'm afraid.
Hubby's probably going to be the best person to tell us how those things work.
I'm sorry, ask your question again. What things?
In between the photos, there's a little sort of blue line with a steamit S. And it just makes it look very tidy.
It's a banner that she created, and so she inputted it as an image, but it's just a banner that she input between it. If you'd like, I can send you a link with lots of free banners that you can put, and you can put it in your post, so it kind of helps separate it, makes it look nice like that.
Yeah, can you put that in the
like that? Thank you very much.
In the lounge, where other people could benefit from that? That'd be nice.
Every once in a while, someone will do a new one. These are the ones that I keep handy for my posts. I unfortunately don't use it as often as I should, but here are some for you guys to enjoy as well. And I actually was going to say before that is I I wanted this post. I found it and I was like, yes. And then something inside of me told me check the comments because somebody probably already selected it. And sure enough, there you were.
Do you know what? This is interesting because this is happening more commonly than I thought. But do you know what? That's good. That's testament to the publisher of the post.
You know, when I first saw it, I was nervous that it wasn't original work, and so I had looked it up, and it was. And then I was like, "This is too good. If someone else uses before I did, they're definitely gonna snatch it up." And sure enough, like you said, they did. So good eye.
Sorry.
Good eye. That's okay.
Nick, are you there? Oh, I don't know if Nick's got problems with his mic. Nick, are you there? Okay, yeah, looks like he's got problems with his mic. He did say it might happen. So next, who wants to go next? Is it Cotherine's turn or Linda? Do you want to go, Linda? Do you want to go?
Yeah, I think Cotron usually goes third.
All right,
Uh,
Cotherine.
Okay, I can go ahead. But before I do, here is the link of Indonesian holidays.
She found it.
And can you tell us then what holiday that woman is celebrating?
Christmas.
Yeah, I think it was Christmas.
There you go. It is Christmas. Okay, good.
See, they observe it. Oh, Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Yeah. Good call.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, it's nice.
Okay, here we go. Today I've prepared a street photo post for you again and a tutorial. But I'm starting with this street photo by Achiron. I hope I say his name right. Looks like he had an amazing time in Rome. And sadly, I've never been to Rome myself. And it's probably one of the reasons why I picked this post, because these pictures are beautiful and I feel like they're pretty creative too. I think my favorite ones are one of the intercom. I love that golden polish it has, and the other one is often an old door. There's something about door photography that I think is pretty fascinating. It always makes me wonder what's behind it. By the way it looks, like your imagination can really draw all kinds of things. Like it could be full of some vintage place. It could be, vintage stuff around the place, and it could be empty, it could be a store, you know? I think it's pretty cool.
I love the couple picture in the metro. It looks so sweet. It's the second picture in the post.
Ooh, the one with the purple leaves. That's my favorite.
Yeah, that is very nice. But I think what's grabbed my attention the most is the one on the metro. When they're on the metro, you've got some woman, looks like she's singing or something, some kind of performer maybe on the train.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's singing Besame Mucho, I think.
Wicked. That's great. I love that. Yeah, but very nice pictures. It's really interesting because I had someone present a post about Rome in my promote your post session last week, and here's another one now about Rome. I don't know what it is, but Rome is getting a lot of attention at the moment. But there's some lovely photography in it.
I've got a story about Rome, which I think is quite interesting. Well, I think it's interesting anyway. And it was that in the past, I started going out with a girl, and I took her on holiday to Rome, thinking it'd be really romantic, and it sort of was. But Rome is it's so old and so impressive that you feel, as human beings like you come second to the city. You feel like the city is the main protagonist, and you are sort of supporting characters. And it's a very strange feeling because everywhere else you go in the world, you're able to feel like you're the most important thing to yourself. But Rome takes that away. It's very odd.
Well, I get that feeling, Nick. I know exactly what you mean. It's an interesting observation because I get that feeling when I walk through the city of London. I'm talking about the Square Mile in London. It's a very odd place, and the buildings are far more important than the people. It's a really weird feeling, but I know what you mean. Interesting that you get that with Rome, maybe because of it. You know, it was a massively historical, because of its historical importance. Maybe, I don't know.
It's so old, it's so ancient, and there's so many things that are, you know, if there was one of them in another city, it would be hugely important. And you get like streets where there's 10 of them all together, just so culturally significant. But it leaves you feeling insignificant. It's very strange.
Makes me want to go to Rome.
Me too.
Makes me want to go anywhere. Especially,
Linda,
I
should we,
love those.
should we move on to your post?
Oh, we can. Yes, sure. So, I love food, and that's the most important thing for me in the world. So, and I am kind of okay. Maybe it's not so horrible. There's like breathing and breathing and everything. But food is like the one thing that you can treat yourself with, and you can eat so many different things, and they're so tasty. So that's why this post was like, oh, I have to have this post, and it's by a very new Steamian as well. So I thought that would be a double win because we're kind of trying to help those new Steamians get some recognition and get some first steps in on Steaming. So the post is about eating late. And would you imagine I have the same issue that I always like to have snacks and I always like to eat something. Right now I have some salt sticks on right next to me that I ate a lot and I will probably be thirsty in the night, but that doesn't matter. At least I got some snacks. Going back to the post, I'm gonna talk about the post. You kind of got it that I love food. This guy is writing about his love for eating late, which a lot of people are guilty of. And as we talked about before, it's not what you eat actually. It's not how much you eat. I'm sorry. It's not how much you eat, but it's what you eat that matters. And it turns out eating late at night is not actually that bad. And a study in, wait, I will check this. I think it was somewhere in the East. I think it was Iran or somewhere, Israel. It was in Israel. A study checked two people groups, the ones that ate in the morning and ones that ate in the evening. And it turns out the people who eat at night and in the evening are much healthier than the ones that eat in the morning. So guys, stop eating breakfast as your main
I'm so
meal.
pleased to hear this. I am so happy to hear this.
Exactly, that was my thought. Exactly, I was like, yes, now I have an excuse for eating like at 10, 11 at night.
Well, I do, and I've always felt bad and guilty for doing it. But now maybe I don't need to feel that bad. Thank God for this post.
Oh gosh.
I'm gonna read you a line from it, a sentence from it. A study was conducted where they monitored people who eat their largest meal at breakfast against those who eat largest at night. They actually discovered that those who ate at night lost more fat.
Wow.
So basically, those who eat at night are gonna be skinnier than the other ones who eat in the morning, guys.
I can tell you for a fact that Freedom is now ordering a pizza. I'm sure he's dialing for one.
No. Unfortunately, they're closed on Boxing Day, Nick.
But it
Extra
also
cheese
says
and pepperoni.
it also says that it matters what you eat, so you can't just disregard everything and eat the most calorie-filled pizza with extra cheese. Exactly.
No, I think that's a really interesting post, and yeah, I don't know. There's been a number of studies on the best time of day to eat and how much you should eat and what to eat. Obviously, some people say breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Blah blah blah. I don't know, but I'm just so grateful for this post.
That's exactly my point. If somebody tells me that I'm eating unhealthy, I just show them this post. I don't care what other posts say, but I have my proof.
It does seem to be something about internet people who tend to eat late at night. Well, most of us are probably a little bit nocturnal sometimes, unless we've got very demanding careers. I don't know. Are we all night owls here? Cubby, you might not be.
I used to be a morning person, so I would be in bed around 9:30, 10 the latest, and I'm up usually by 4:30. And then I discovered Steam It, and my life was turned upside down.
How many people have that story?
So I no longer make it to my 5:30 a.m. class. I am more of an afternoon person, except when I have curation shows at night. Then I try to go to bed a little earlier the night before to go to the gym in the morning. But even that has been rough.
So look, Catherine goes to bed at 7 a.m. I sometimes am up till very late. I know Freedom is up late, and I know
I go
Linda's
to
up
bed
late.
about I go to bed about 5 a.m.
I'm
Most
eating
nights.
right
Linda,
now.
what time do you go to bed?
I'm eating right now. Sorry, guys.
You're eating.
I'm I'm eating snacks. Um, I go to bed around 2 to 3, and I wake up at 10 to 12, maybe later sometimes. I sleep a lot because my stories kind of take a lot from me.
Yes, I think that confirms what Nick was saying. A lot of us here are night owls, and Steam It has helped that.
The only problem for me is now I've got a small child. He's not so sympathetic to me waking up late as well, so he dictates my morning waking up time, which means I'm perpetually tired, so I should probably have to start going to bed early. But anyway, let me move on to my post. This one is especially nice for Christmas, and it should be something that we should all feel happy about.
Yeah, happy post.
Oh, I nearly chose this one. I nearly chose it. Go on.
So this is a post from someone who came, or who we promoted a week ago on the show, and he's in Venezuela. And the post we promoted was talking about how basically nobody's got any money and they can't afford anything. And because we promoted this post, this is a post about the things he was able to afford. So there's food for his family and supplies for his baby. And obviously, this has made a fantastic Christmas for him. And this is all down to the Whale Shares post promotion group, so which wouldn't exist without all the listeners. So I've taken the liberty of choosing only one post this week, and with the okay of Acrid, I'm going to ask for this one to have a double upvote. So hopefully we can get him a tiny bit more food, because look at that picture. Isn't that lovely to see that Steam It and Whale Shares post promotion has provided all of that for Big Dude and his family.
I think that's absolutely fantastic. It is. The proof of the pudding is in the picture in this one, and it really is. It's great. And as I say, I nearly chose it. It's a fantastic post and good for Big Dude.
And those are the kinds of posts that are the best ones, because they show that our community is actually willing to get together and help each other out when somebody needs help, and that's something amazing.
And here's a key issue, which works in Venezuela. It's also relevant to people in Africa as well. Normally, people earn money relative to I don't know, the wages and the cost of things in their country. But because Steam It is international, it's a great leveler. So people in poor places get relatively much better rewards than people where things are more expensive.
Yeah, there was. I think it was this guy as well. You're mentioning the guy in Venezuela. Oh no, sorry, I might be getting confused. But it was Venezuela, and the amount of the dollars that he earned on that post was a lot, even for us. But it was considerably more in Venezuela, and that's such a real help. It's fantastic.
He now owns a massive chain of banks in Venezuela just from that post.
Makes me happy to see regular people being able to make it thanks to Steam It and help each other.
Definitely, it's great.
Good job, guys.
Yay!
Cubby, do you want to do your 60-second challenge this week?
I can, yeah. Let me pull up my my timer so I don't mess this up.
Freedom, you were going to count down.
No, I do the. Hang on a minute. I do the timing. We can't do that herself. That's completely unfair.
Stop.
There was the time you cheated, Cubby, wasn't there? When you 45 seconds. So if Freedom does the timing and counts you in, and I will choose the subject, which will be Christmas baubles.
Christmas what?
What now?
Baubles.
Bubbles?
Baubles.
Baubles.
What is that?
What the hell is that?
Stop laughing at me. What is that?
What is bauble?
Do you know what?
Stop.
You've never heard that term?
No.
Nope.
Okay, so it's just what you put on a Christmas tree.
Shiny round things made of sort of metallic stuff that you hang on a Christmas tree. You must have those in America.
You mean Christmas ornaments?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, but if they're round in Britain, they've got a particular name because an ornament could be any shape, but a bauble has to be round.
We just call those balls in Letland.
And in everywhere else in the world.
Look, if balls works better for you, Cubby, talk about balls.
Hold on. I'm the boss here, and I've dictated that it's going to be Christmas baubles, and
Oh
that's
my
what I want to hear about, and that's what Cubby's going to talk about.
It's
for
just a
60
British
seconds.
accent for bubbles.
I don't know.
Do you
if
like
I
those
approve.
bubbles?
Yeah, seriously.
Okay. I'm going to count you down, Cubby. You know now what we're talking about, though, don't you?
I'm so scared. Yeah.
Christmas bauble that you hang on the tree.
Yep. All right. Here we go.
Okay, hang on a minute. I've got to get my clock. Sorry. And I count you down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, so today my topic is about Christmas balls, which I didn't realize that Christmas balls, that ornaments that you put on trees, sound different or are called different things around the world. But what do you know? I stand corrected and overtold that apparently you put these round things on a tree and they call them something different. Now, I hate to say this, but we didn't put up a tree this year. We haven't put up a tree in a really long time. We used to have a white tree that we decorated, but we got really lazy and decided not to do it the last couple of years. So what we do instead is this year my mom got a wheelbarrow because she loves to farm from her brothers, and she hasn't used it yet. So she put it inside the house, she decorated it, and we put all our presents all around it, and boom, we had no Christmas balls, but we had a wheelbarrow for Christmas that we all used, love, and adore. I don't know what you guys do. It's different in every household, but that's what we did this year. Not that we have anything against it. We're just really lazy people. So we use what we have and we have what we use. But if you have a Christmas tree, make sure to put a Christmas bulb on there.
Lovely way to end your minute.
I know it! Nailed it!
Cubby, that was
Well
the best
done.
one yet. I'm gonna give you a 10 out of 10 for that. That was fantastic.
I'm gonna give you 11 out of 10.
Oh my
Can you-
gosh!
Can you go over that?
11? Well, I'll have to give her a 12 then. No, I'm not going to do that. I think that was a very well-deserved. I don't think it was quite worth 10. I don't know. Maybe I'm being a bit mean, bit Scrooge. I don't know. I'm going to give it a 9.
No.
But listen, she did it perfectly from second to second, 60 seconds. Tell me.
Do you know what? You're right, Linda. I'm being Scrooge. No, I'm going to up it to 9.5, which gets rounded up to 10.
There it is. But I am curious. Let's say we went with your original answer. What would have had taken to be a perfect 10? What was missing from my perfectionist?
Well, no, I think Linda made me reassess, and do you know what? It was fluid. It was fluid delivery, and don't forget, it was on a subject, on a name that you've only just learned. And I thought, no, I'm being too harsh. Definite 10.
That's a way to get out of
You see,
it.
what for me to get a 10, it's extremely high standards. Cubby,
No, I
you
get
got to
that.
understand that.
Oh no, I get it. That's why I'm taking notes, and every week I try to do a little bit better for you guys.
We have those teachers at school.
We
We have 10 grade system, but some teachers don't give you 10 just because they want you to create something new. And you know what? People don't have time for that because kids at school are killed already.
Oh my gosh.
What the hell?
Let's not kill anybody.
That's a bit extreme.
Yeah, just a little
You're
bit.
the one teacher freedom that nobody likes.
I like you, Frida.
Trin, what mark did you give? I don't know. Did you say?
I didn't say anything, but I'm gonna give Cubby a 10.
Yay!
Nailed it.
That's 41 out of 40. That's hard to beat in future.
Well deserved.
Thank you, Katrin.
That deserves an extra 5 Welsh shares.
I couldn't agree more with you.
But next time it's gonna be very hard to keep up the good work.
The expectation has been moved up, that's for sure.
Exactly.
What we'll do next time then is mark it out of 20 to make it harder.
Oh boy.
So then you'll have to go up above 41. Well, you should be able to do it. But anyway, we'll try it. We'll move the goalpost next time to keep you challenged.
Or
Anyway,
you could change the challenge.
Huh.
we could do, couldn't we? We could do
Or we
15
could-
minutes.
Or we
Gosh.
just do, or we just do 20-point grading system.
I should announce at this point that anyone who would like free Welsh shares for listening in, please send your Open Ledger details. If you don't know what that is, message me. Send me a direct message, Nick Flossers, and I'll try and help you sort that out. Anyway, Cubby, would you like to go on to your second post?
I sure would. Let me pull that up here. Now, I must admit, I haven't read all of it just yet, but when I saw it, I was really intrigued by it and thought you guys would like it as well. So when you have a moment, it is kind of lengthy, but it is well worth the read. And it kind of goes along with the other things that we were talking about as well. And it is called, let me just get it on the other screen here. So many things going on at one time. Here we go.
You
So
should
now,
see my post if you think this is lengthy.
oh, good. I'm glad. I'm glad I'm not the only one with long posts. But when I saw the title, I was blown away. Failure is not an option. And his first sentence really captured me. It says the term failure can be viewed differently by different people. And this is so true. And he talks about how failure correlates with fear. And he kind of goes into how and what that means to him. Well, I guess it's not that long, but when I saw it just before the show started, and I just kind of skimmed it, and I thought it was great, especially with the new year coming along. You know, we'll probably start to see a lot of like end of the year reflection and new year resolutions and that type of thing. And I hope that he writes another post that kind of goes along this same theme of how failure isn't an option and how it correlates with fear. And he kind of goes into a personal experience with his dad who suffered from Great Depression and how many people are on the verge of success but fail because of the fear of persistence and going on. So when you get a chance, go ahead and read it. I thought it was beautiful, and it has less than 30 cents on there, but I thought it was worth so much more. It's a beautiful post. Did I post it in the chat already? I said it. Perfect.
I'm so pleased he included a quote, that quote from Thomas Edison, because it's so true. He says, I have not failed. Thomas Edison said, I have not failed. I have just found 10,000 ways that won't work. That's brilliant.
I love that quote. It's honestly one of my favorites.
It's a little bit like an existentialist perspective without going into the depth of that philosophy, but for anyone who doesn't know, existentialism is primarily defined by the idea that you do what is necessary in life rather than giving yourself limited boundaries set by society and things. So you always do exactly what is enough. And they say, for example, an existentialist might say, doing your best is for children on sports day, but you should only ever do what is necessary, which I think is interesting. And it resonates with this post a bit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's sometimes hard to admit that failures is something we make because all our lives we are taught that failures are bad, and that's why it's so hard for some people to actually fail or what they perceive as failure. So this is something that makes you think about it a little bit.
I agree. It's a very introspective, and it has a beautiful quote, and there's a lot into it, and I don't know. I really
Well,
like
it's about turning, something negative into something positive. And if you can do that, absolutely, it's worth it, And that's what this article explores, and it's great for that.
I'm wondering what failures you have that you've refused to accept and push back again with, because it sounds like you are quite motivated with things.
Well, I think that I have high expectations, and I just I want to do more and be more. And sometimes you can do a lot, but when you don't focus on one thing at a time, you don't really reach that success because you don't prioritize or you stretch too thin. And so at times I feel like I failed because I haven't reached the standard I think I could, because A, I don't dedicate enough time, or B, I stretch myself too thin, or C, I just don't have what it takes to reach that potential that I really want to get. So it kind of, I don't know, it hit home for me because sometimes I feel like I failed when I probably haven't. But you can't always help how you feel. You can only help how you think and you act. So one of my New Year's focus will be to be more consistent and not try to do more, but be more excellent in the few things that I choose to do.
So focus on a few specific things and just try and excel in those things. Is that it?
Correct. Versus trying to do too much. You can,
Yeah.
you have these skills where you can be beneficial to many people, but if you try to make yourself available to too many, you really can't reach your fullest potential for the few, had you just been selective.
Yeah, absolutely. Well said.
This will be a good perspective for us all to talk about next week as well, because it will be the new year and time for New Year's resolutions. So maybe we can all tell everybody what we're going to change about ourselves. But anyway, we should move on to the next post. Freedom.
Yeah. Okay. I will just put this up now. This is from someone we've met before. And in fact, I think last week somebody put a post up about him because we spoke about this guy, and he seems to catch a lot of the attentions of the curators. Let me just grab the post. Sorry, I'm just getting it. There it is. I'm just going to paste that one, and there it is. And that image, the cover image, the only image in the post is beautiful. It really grabbed my attention straight away, even before I read the title. Really stunning image, really calming, beautiful image there. And but what's great about this is that we are seeing this guy who has already developed a bit of a niche, actually, on Steam. He's very, very new, but this time he's decided to approach poetry, and he's written a poem. And it's important that we develop niches and carve out our own particular, I suppose, personality on Steam. But it's also good to diversify your content, and that's what this guy's done this time, Zincali. And he's come up with a great poem called The Enchantress. And when you read the poem and you look at the image, the two work together so perfectly. I can see exactly why he's chosen that image. This is a poem that he's written. It's quite a short poem. Hopefully you can read it by the time that I've finished presenting it. It's an interesting poem. It's something that's not blatant, but clearly at some stage in his life, it looks like a lady has had some kind of impact on Zincali, thinking about it in this poem. It seems that there might have been some kind of, it wasn't a smooth experience. It seems that there was some kind of interruption. But if you read the words, if you read that poem, it's so nicely written. It's ambiguous to an extent, but deliberately so, I would imagine. And it's kind of beautifully ambiguous, I would say. There's a story in there, and I always like narratives, and I like stories and films and scripts, etc., and little short stories and books and novels. And in that, I don't do much poetry though, so I'm no poetry expert. But in that poem is a story there, and it's so beautifully delivered that I thought it deserved more than 18 cents. But it's nice that Zincali is sort of reaching out a little bit and doing something different. So yeah, really lovely image, beautiful poem, really nice post.
That is a very good idea, Kobe. I think that would be perfect, Linda.
Okay, guys, can I read it again, because then I'm not gonna stumble. And by the way, this is not the first poem he writes, and he has written about I don't know if his wife or his special lover, but he has written about somebody he loves he loves really much, and he puts so much emotion in it, and you can really feel it through his poetry.
Yeah, definitely. So is someone going to read that, are they?
Okay, I can do this. Should I do it now?
Yes, please.
Okay. As the stars start to appear in the clear winter sky, I walk to the oak tree to await her reply. She who keeps me captured with her wild woman's ways, on her striking gaze, she with genius ablaze, denies not her love for, fearless is her vision quest, limbs slippery pinnacles to dance with success. Suspense seduces Suspense seduces with his cold dark charm. He knows her secret, he knows her alarms. He feels her heart, her blood pulsating, hears tormented tears, overwhelmed sensations, smells feral lust, hungry to be heard, desires unabashed passion unperturbed. Oh God, this is new words for me. Desire is unabashed, passion unperturbed. As for frost, as the frost starts, it urgent, penetrative. Oh God, sorry guys. It's just very hard when you read something completely new. As the frost starts, it urgent, penetrative pursuit. The gleam of the crescent moon reflects a crisp, stark truth. It's to be fair, it's very hard to read something completely new because you kind of get stuck on the words.
Linda, I thought that was actually good, and of course there's some hard English words there with tricky pronunciation, but I think you did very well.
I agree. I think you should give yourself more credit because I read it the first time and I paused and I was like, I don't even think I know how to say that word, and I'm an American.
Well, if anybody wants me to read something in future, you can just forward it to me, and I can read it over a couple of more times, and then I can do it better.
I think Zinkali would be feeling quite proud now because he's helped you learn some words, maybe, Linda.
Yeah, I don't know what unabashed and unperturbed is. Unperturbed,
Unperturbed.
unperturbed. Okay.
Your homework can be to look up those two words, and we will test you next week. Hey, I've got.
And he's gone.
Oh dear, has Nick Flosser's gone again? Nick, you there?
Oh man. Who's up next in the meantime? We only have 5 minutes left and then I gotta go. So let's try to get through one more post.
Yeah, let's get one more. Who was next? Was it Linda? You're next?
Oh, might be. I don't remember.
What's it?
I think it's me.
Oh, Catherine.
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 Oh my word, I was going to choose this one as well. Gosh.
You
I
missed
know.
out.
I chose all my posts yesterday, so I think I'm kind of not on the same timeline.
I'm so not into gardening, but I really almost went for this. Such is the power of Steemit.
Yep. Well, I was happy to discover this one. Usually every summer, me and my husband, we have a small garden. Mainly we just grow in like herbs, tomatoes, peppers, stuff like that, and some sunflowers for the squirrels. But I have never grown garlic before. My grandma used to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and follow the tips that Wholesome Roots posted and probably plant some garlic now as well because I think it's fun. And we usually put a lot of it in about anything we make. Well, this post is quite detailed and it's easy to understand and follow all these instructions. And there's also a video at the bottom of it. You can go to it and watch what she does, and she will talk about it. And it's helpful and fun.
This is a Russian thing, isn't it, growing garlic? Because I know Russia is riddled with vampires, and so you need to grow quite a lot to hang over your doors.
That's exactly it, actually. Yeah, I read that. It's a big part of history.
Actually, that's not Russian thing to make vampires go away. That's like Transylvania thing, isn't it?
Romania.
Romania.
But this
So
post,
Now you're taking over the world in Russia's place.
Yeah, might as well. I mean, that's a tiny land. They need more land.
but this post, as I say, I was going to choose it. I'm not into gardening one bit, really, but it was such an interesting post, growing your own garlic, and it shows you how very easy it is to do. And I thought, you know what, if I had a plot, I would definitely be growing some garlic. It's a great post.
I'm gonna grow some garlic. I'm just so excited that I discovered this post just like going through post promotion by accident, pretty much.
This really, really reminds me of my grandparents. They grew everything and garlic as well.
I love garlic.
If you haven't done gardening before, and I hadn't done very much, and then I bought a house with a garden, and two things: it's so easy because you just put the things in the ground and water it, and then nature does the rest. But it's also so satisfying. It's probably, to me, it's probably second after yoga for regulating mood and keeping me happy and positive. So yeah, great post, Catherine. By the way, I got cut off before. Did anyone did my comment that the previous poem was talking about Mother Nature resonate with anybody, or was that dismissed, or did you not hear it?
We didn't hear it.
The theory about the woman in the previous post was that the female was Mother Nature, but anyway, I don't know. Could be true.
Oh, that makes sense.
This could be thought about at length anyway. But poems that slowly give out their information over time, their secrets. But shall we move on to who's next after Cotrin?
Linda.
I think that's me now.
Linda, you're next.
I'm sorry, guys. I'd hate to cut this short, but I do have to go. So if we could all just say goodbye, I'll end the recording and I will put it up. And I'm sorry I missed the very last post.
I think that's.
Cubby, Merry Christmas. It's lovely to have you here. Good luck with your next show, and we'll see you next week.
Speak to you soon, Cubby. Have a good one.
Exactly. Bye bye. Have fun.
Bye, guys. Thank